Ooh, what's up? And these aren't even like training tips. These are just like,
Number 1, tampon instead.
do not train on a full stomach. That sounds like a no shit Sherlock situation, but when I first started out, I don't know why I would have like a full-blown meal right before I trained calisthenics. It's not like I waited. I would have a full-blown meal. And calisthenics being a very core dominant kind of sport, I guess, it wasn't a pleasant experience. So yeah, just don't train on a full stomach.
Cheers, Jeff.
Number 2, clam chowder condom.
Stick to one like teacher, sensei, if you will. But like I remember starting out, like I had multiple like YouTube channels, and that's not bad. But like I found it like kind of like confusing, like because everyone has their different training styles, right? Especially because everyone's starting at different points in calisthenics and like different strength levels. So people who would initially recommend an exercise for you to do, it may be less effective for you. Not that it's bad, but it's just less effective. And so you know you kind of like making your journey a little bit longer than it needs to be. So like for me, I used to like watch a bunch of YouTube channels. Like that sounds very vague. Over the years, literally, I've just stuck with Chris Harrier because it's just like well-rounded tips, and it's simple progressions. You know, you just do it for time, continuously, progressive overload. It's honestly weight kind of sense, but yeah, it's like to one sensei.
Number 3, ice cream surprise.
Leading from the second point, it can like don't overcomplicate calisthenics because it's literally just like one thing I learned from Chris Harrier is that every exercise is simply either a regression or a progression of another exercise. Take a push-up for example. If you're training for a push-up, you know you may be at like a very high wall incline, but you might do too much research and then you might think you need to do like fucking like 4 sets of like 20 or maybe like. Another thing Chris Harrier taught me is the EMOM workout style, training every minute on the minute. So you know you just do an exercise every minute. So like I'd have a stopwatch, right? And every new minute that would start, I would hit a set. And so like say for example my set lasted like 20 seconds, and I would have 40 seconds left to rest. In that 40 seconds I would rest, but then when the new minute begins, then I would hit a set.
Number 4, bullets in hot dog.
Especially because I went from being a calisthenics rat to a gym rat, and now looking back, my diet has to kind of have my stomach and midsection snatched, if that makes sense. Because calisthenics, again, it's a core dominant sport. So it's like, you know, you don't want to be like, you want to have carbs in your system, but like you don't want to be like keeled over in your chair, just bloated, and then you're not about to hit a workout, you know, because you're not like, you don't go into a workout with a full stomach. But like, say for example, like you had a pre-workout meal like 3 hours ago, and you're feeling bloated from it. Like I would say, stick to a diet that you know leaves you hydrated, passes through your system cleanly, and leaves you like nourished. Because there's a difference between being there's a difference between not having eaten yet in the day and not being hungry, and then being hungry and not having eaten. That's 2 different things. Because it's like you can not eat but still feel very nourished, very hydrated. But if you're on the other side where you're like you haven't eaten but you're feeling very hungry and like weak, you know you might kind of want to like reevaluate your diet. I'm not saying that to like be like oh my gosh you're eating wrong, but you know it's just a thought, because it makes the difference in terms of training and lifestyle, and especially because calisthenics is you want to be having like fluid like movements. You don't want to feel chunky or clunky. You know you want to be fluid. So sticking to a diet where your midsection, your torso, whatever you eat, just it leaves you nourished.
Number 5, syringe needle sandwich.
Recovery for like calisthenics, especially going from calisthenics to the gym and then back to calisthenics. Recovery for calisthenics is so much more different. I feel like it's so much more demanding, and I'm not saying that weights is easy by any means. I'm just saying like calisthenics because it's like you're moving your entire body weight. You're not just like sat in one position and just pressing or pulling. You know, like you're manipulating your entire body. And so, especially training to failure in that sense too. So yeah, it's very demanding, and especially because you're training your tendons as well. Your tendons, ligaments, joints, especially your nervous system has to like take that into account as well. So you know, recovery is important. So sleep, protein goals, things of that nature. So yeah, recovery is extremely important. So I've low-key forgotten the tips. I'm gonna throw them on the screen. Hope these help anybody starting out calisthenics, because I literally started out calisthenics when I never worked out before, and I would hit an ab workout and I would genuinely feel like I am being stabbed in the midsection.